We continue day number 4 of the 2016 Founders Cup from the Alder Street Recreation Complex here in beautiful Orangeville, Ontario, with the second-seeded B Division Seneca War Chiefs facing Nova Scotia, who finished third in Group A. We'll pause for the national anthems, and we'll be back. Matthew Carrick and Chris Soucy with the face-off coming your way next on the JVI Sports Network. Extreme Threads is your one-stop shop for business and team branding solutions. Their beautiful, expansive showroom is open 7 days a week for your convenience. For more information or to view their products, visit www.extremethreads.ca. Our thanks to Extreme Threads out of Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, for helping us bring you free Day 4 coverage of the 2016 Founders Cup. As we now get set for game action and we check our starting goaltenders, starting with Team Nova Scotia. There is Ben Faulkner, who got the start yesterday but was lifted in favor of Aiden Piero. And how about the storyline of the day, the Seneca War Chiefs, not dressed for this game, number 30, Mason Jones, as Stone Garlow gets the start. And we'll see how that plays into this one. Chris Soucy joins me in the booth. I am Matthew Carrick alongside our fantastic JVI Sports Network crew. As Sam McDade And Spencer Tankway will check in as this one rolls along. Just past 5 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. If you're in Nova Scotia enjoying your dinner, we appreciate you tuning in, and we hope this one's exciting down the stretch. If you're down in New York finishing your workday, I can't think of a better way to do that either, as we are in Orangeville here with Founders Cup action. As Faulkner sees this one bounce away.
Lots of white jerseys out there.
Yeah, the blue short white jerseys working right to left belong to Nova Scotia. Two of the best looking jerseys in the tournament, in my opinion, as Nova Scotia has the flag adorning their front of their jersey, as the white with the green and purple striping belongs to the Seneca War Chiefs, as Carlo lets a juicy rebound go there and has a bit of trouble passing the ball away. Bit of a surprise here with Mason Jones not only not starting but not dressed, as Troy Benedict will be the backup for this one, as Seneca perhaps looking past Nova Scotia a little bit here. Larson Sundown the outside shot. This one skips off a couple boards before making its way back to center, and Sundown again will throw up the stop signs, and a nice header from the crease.
That's just what Nova Scotia wants. Be taken lightly. Hopefully they can capitalize on that.
They're a team that's been getting better and better as this tournament's rolled on, whereas Seneca has started off slow in a couple games but then come on strong as the game has progressed. Came out of Division B in second place with a 2-win, 1-loss record after the epic matchup last night in prime time here against the Orangeville Northmen. Lucas Beaver loses control of that in the corner, as Brett McGuire quickly on him. The shot does get through, and Faulkner, his first real save opportunity from the set, as another shot goes wide off the backboards. Putting on the brakes is Kobe Whitcomb. He goes to the far side, quickly up for Brennan White. Our first look at him, and the arm will go high now, as big time low bridge.
What are you doing?
On Kirk Drabel. And it'll get turned over here, as Nova Scotia will go to the power play. You're about to get a heavy dose of Bobby Green up top. He is the captain for Nova Scotia. Connor Aquino off to his right side. They'll be the top two. Let's take another look at the penalty here. Wow. We saw Zach Fraser in the back of that shot, as he got clipped in warm-ups and was down on the floor for a little bit before going back to the dressing room. As here is the aforementioned Green.
Yeah, Zach took a shot in warm-up in the foot, walked it off. He'll be fine. Foot's a long way from the heart.
As is the thumb, but we still see one of your players for Nova Scotia sitting this one out after their second shift injury on what was already a short bench.
He's back in Nova Scotia now.
As the
Sure, he wishes he was here.
The horn sets up, probably watching in. As Green, the sidearm shot, and Stone Garlow again makes the save, pushes it into the half boards, where Matt Wilson, our player to watch, runs it down. Alex Taylor, top again for Green, back for Wilson. Taylor circling the crease now, as over the shoulder attempt now from Green. Giving up on that sub shot pretty early, as it's been pretty good for him, as Nova Scotia peppering Six Nations here. Stone Garlow drops the shoulder into Wilson. Big collision, not sure why there was no moving pick, but it is what it is, as Seneca gets up over center with 46 seconds left.
I think Wilson might have gave the goalie an extra shot, so shot for shot.
So one each way.
That's right. Let them play.
I was wondering why that was so vicious so early on, as it was a feisty affair between Nova Scotia and Calgary yesterday. Calgary taking that one in overtime in another one that was one of the best of the tournament we saw.
There's been a lot of close games this tournament, a couple overtime games.
Already had a good one. Most recently, Calgary chilled, defeating the Coquitlam Adenacks 9-7. Chill will move on to our primetime game tomorrow as the shot comes through, and already 1-0 here for the Seneca War Chiefs. That's Kobe Whitcomb, a late addition to the lineup, as Ron John could not make the trip after a late shoulder injury in the playoffs. And Kobe Whitcomb, watch this, all shake and bake from the far side as he comes through. A couple figs. That's a pretty nice goal from that angle. Wow.
He kept the feet moving. It's hard to stop those ones as a goalie.
It didn't actually look that good live, but watching it from the corner, you can see the number of moves he put on both the defender and the goaltender as a couple players get tangled here. Chase Scanlon goes down. Everybody will regain their footing. And we'll get back underway. Seneca waiting their penalty to expire. It's done now as Marvin Curry rejoins the fray. Shot off the leg of Faulkner into the corner. Played back here for Brennan White. White fakes the shot into the corner. Here's Sundown. Far side is shot, and Faulkner's down looking for it. He's got the arm between the legs. Where is it? Finally, the whistle goes and stands up, and it was underneath him in the crease. So we saw an extended offensive possession early on for Nova Scotia, and now one the other way for Seneca. And it is 1-0. And it is 1-1 as Nova Scotia comes out of the corner.
Dalton Brown, big game to step up for him. Product of Barrie Junior A.
We apologize as we may have had an intermittent signal loss there. Trying to see if we have a replay of that goal. As we go back to live action, though, it is 1-1. Clifford Brooks to the far side. A bunch of names here for Seneca we haven't been calling so far in this tournament. Although Lucas Beaver's been in every game. Beaver, big time snipe. You can see the field talent there. There's a couple big skips and then the huge release.
He picked that corner.
As this is going to be a look at the Nova Scotia goal from behind the net. It's just end to end here. Another transition opportunity reaching back. And Dalton Brown putting Nova Scotia on the board and then back the other way. That's just downright disgusting at the junior B level. Ball pushed ahead though as here comes Nova Scotia. Two players racing out. Garlow not sure where it is. It rolls behind him. He collapses. And it is kept on the correct side of the goal line. Gets pushed down the far side. Tommy Scanlon in conversation with Sam McDade yesterday said there was about 4 or 5 guys who can shoot 100 plus. Beaver's one of them as he tries again. This one just over top of the net. And that was on display in the first goal for Lucas Beaver there.
Beaver's definitely a guy to keep an eye on out there. He's shifty. He's good on the quick sticks on the side of the net.
I'm looking down at the bench looking for Tommy Scanlon.
I don't see him either.
And I don't see him, so some of the regulars getting the day off here for Seneca. As the winner of this game, sorry Chris, plays at 5 p.m. against the Green Gales on semifinal Saturday.
I was just saying, I'm sure Ben Faulkner, the goalie for Nova Scotia, is glad to see Scanlon not there.
Especially after what happened last night with Rylan Hartley taking one off the face mask that actually forced him to leave the game a few minutes later.
How's he doing? Is he all right? You know?
We keep trying to find out from the Orangeville Northmen, and they said we'll see at game time.
Yeah.
Which
that could affect a few things for him, because I know right after this tournament he's flying out west for the Minto to be the third goalie for the junior A team.
Well, I know in my line of work, when you don't get a yes, he's in tonight answer, there may be some question marks there, although the Northmen are matching the 4th place team coming out of the A division, the Saskatchewan SWAT. So it was probably going to be Danny Tanner's night anyways.
Yep. Which is good for development, too. I'm sure he's not the veteran goalie, their backup.
Seneca pushing into the corner. Nova Scotia defense now piling in. As Seneca pushes it ahead, the ball pops free, and everybody backs off before the interference call as Alex Taylor picks it up. Every time Nova Scotia does something worthy of praise, the cowbells and shakers sound here in the arena. Every time Seneca makes a decent play, it's the war drums on the other side. Not a Orangeville Northman crowd by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely loud and proud of their boys here, the Seneca fans and Nova Scotia. As we bring you our continuing coverage of the 2016 Founders Cup, game number 3 of day 4, free on YouTube, thanks to our good friends at Extreme Threads. Well, trying to split the defense there. Big collision involving Brett Draper. As he's still got it, still trying to dance his way around. The final swim move as he takes the shot looking towards the left foot of Garlow. And it looked like there was about 20 Seneca jerseys on the floor there. They got a 3 on nobody, and it's going to result in the goal. Seneca, 3-1 lead here early.
There's a defensive lapse, Nova Scotia. Let 3 guys get behind him, beat by a loose ball.
There were 3 on nobody. Trey Carvery doing his best to catch up to the play, but just unable to make it. As the defensive stance before that, though, it looked like there was about 20 Seneca players on the floor as Brett Draper tried to beat every single one of them and just didn't work out. So it is 3-1 as we enter the back half here. Another shot that goes up high on Faulkner. He's looking around for it, but it did go up out of play after the save. Played down to this side. Size mismatch. The much bigger Marvin Curry wheeling around, taking the shot. Looking low on Faulkner, who makes the save. And we have indeed played 10 minutes here in period number 1. Gaetan Tremblay into the corner. Mitchell Batiste over there to corral it. Batiste getting shoved aside. He'll go to the captain, Bobby Green. That sub shot again on the mark. Stone Garlow standing in to make the save. As we said, Troy Benedict, the backup goaltender tonight. We may see him later in the game. Of course, as the situation dictates. Fake over the shoulder from Larson Sundown. A bit of a change-up, trying to finesse it into the top corner over the left shoulder of Faulkner. And now a big rip that goes just wide off the backboards. Everyone reaching for it, as now sticks are going to get up as we got close to the goaltender. Just a lot of shoving here as nobody really wants to get sent off the floor. And somebody came in to play peacemaker. I believe it was Kobe Whitcomb getting in between the pile and Larson Sundown there. Restarted far side for Nova Scotia. Back for Matt Wilson. The far side, Connor Aquino. Seneca is the home team. They get to decide what color jersey, not only what color jersey they will wear, but also the end. And I believe Nova Scotia only brought one.
Yeah, so
which is why we see 2 whites down on the floor.
Yeah, we only have the one white jersey. Most teams just kind of, for the sake of the game, wear their darks against us, but it is what it is, I guess. It is a bit confusing, even for me right now. I'm looking around, I guess I'm going by the shorts. But when the change box, that's going to be a little bit confusing, I think, for the referees. As far as too many men calls and everything, you're looking for white jerseys.
The arms obviously have a lot more green and purple mixed in, and
yeah.
Some of these players have that lime green, gravedigger-esque face mask as well. Mm-hmm. But the first time we've seen this so far. Each team does have their own dressing room. They have laundry facilities as well. So those one jerseys, those of you at home thinking they'd be pretty ripe right about now, they're at least not running around by themselves. As it's been a pretty good setup here by the tournament organizers in Orangeville.
Definitely, it's been a great tournament. Our dressing room happens to be right next door to the Seneca dressing room, so it's a little bit interesting. We're trying to keep them all separated. Not that anything's going to happen back there, but you know, we put up a fake wall or whatever you want.
Stuff happening down on the floor, though, as Adam Connor comes limping off the floor. He got tangled on the near side, actually went down. As Seneca takes a wide shot. Down on the concrete again is Zach Fraser. Again, we said he limped off in warm-ups. And they're calling the trainer down the tunnel to catch up to Adam Connor. Shot goes up out of play after Faulkner makes the save. As it's played into the corner. And Seneca with the restart. Again, trying to do the scratches as we see them. We haven't seen Tommy Scanlon. We were told about Mason Jones not dressing for this game. Up top is Chase Scanlon. Also have yet to see Connor Fields, but even without all those names, Lucas Beaver making it 4-1 here.
Another very deep team, obviously. As I said, Nova Scotia came down shorthanded as it was with 17 runners, and now we're down to 16 runners as it is right now. So, but we haven't dropped any players since game one, a second shift, I guess. So that's a positive.
Always a concern in tournaments like this as they go far side. Nova Scotia gets one right back. Brett McGuire working down the far side. Just as they're announcing the Lucas Beaver goal.
Actually, it looks like Seneca has 16 runners too, actually. 17.
As we said, perhaps looking past Nova Scotia a little bit towards what would be a matchup with the Green Gales. Big collision over on the boards as Chris Mallett gets dropped. Again, receiving correct pronunciations yesterday. And a happy birthday shout out to Mallett.
He's 16 now.
That's still disgusting. We've been talking about him all tournament long, the fierceness that he plays with. And as a 15-year-old outside, quick release shot from down low. There was a defender right in the face of the Seneca player, but it still gets through. And Faulkner's coming to the bench here. Looks like a water break. As that makes it 5-2 for Seneca. The scoreboard here in the building has it 5-2 for the visiting team, but Seneca is actually on the visitors' bench as the higher seed. As we said, they get to decide the home team decides which end they wish to defend in, and we have a goalie change for Nova Scotia here.
Yeah, Aiden Perro's back in net.
It almost, welcome to the game. Crease violation they're going to call Marvin Curry. Either way, it's a rough way to start for Aiden Pirro. Either way.
It's a nice warm-up, eh?
There are worse ways to warm up against this Seneca team. As we said, Tommy Scanlon could be up top.
That's right. Throwing bombs.
100 plus, as he said last night. Mm-hmm. Of course, no radar gun in the building, so we'll take his word for it.
It's fast.
It's a very hard shot.
Yeah.
And Fields can rip, as can Lucas Beaver. And we've seen more of a finesse game coming from the right side, though. But, yeah, you said it, Chris. A very deep roster this Seneca War Chief team, one of the favorites. But it's going to be a tough matchup should they make it through to face the Green Gals. A bouncer getting through there for Alex Taylor. Stone Garlow squats over top of the stick and makes that 5-hole save. Of course, the winner of this game, as we said, plays at 5 o'clock tomorrow as well against the Green Gals. The loser of Game 15 draws the 11 o'clock start against the Manitoba Blizzard. As it is 5-2 for the Seneca War Chiefs with 4:45 left to play here in period number 1. We apologize for the error in our graphic, again, due to the bench issues. Seneca has drawn a penalty here, and as they touch up, the penalized player will head off. And we'll get another look at the Nova Scotia power play, which gave up a shorthanded goal last time. And I don't see Faulkner on the bench. He motioned to the bench, looked like he was getting water for that goalie break. I don't think this was a coaching decision, as Faulkner decided to come out. Piero in the net, so we'll try and get more information on that in the intermission.
I'll go down and have a chat, see what's up.
Investigative journalism at its finest up here.
Inside scoop, bud.
Nothing but the best from the JVI Sports Network.
Right.
Of course, bringing you free coverage for the 4th day in a row. Our thanks for the first couple days to the Toronto Rock, the Rock Elite League, the Oakville Rock, and now Extreme Threads, business apparel from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia.
It's definitely appreciated everywhere. I know we're getting a lot of positive feedback. I'm sure all the other teams are too. It's great to be able to watch for free, especially if you're watching from wherever.
Well, Randy,
had them all over the place, I guess.
Randy Clough, we spoke with him yesterday, and he was gracious enough to help provide support today. And when we announced it last night, he said he barely got sleep because his cell phone, due to the Twitter notifications, kept going off. For Team Extreme 77 on Twitter, and Nova Scotia doing their best Team Extreme impression as
was that Bobby?
Mr. Green from up top. Bobby
golfing
continues his hot streak with the 5-iron, the 3rd goal of the game for Nova Scotia now.
Is that the 5-iron? Oh, just squeaked through, eh?
That may be the sand wedge, as it took a bit of a chip shot at the end there.
No putter needed, though.
Wish I had a shot like that. On the concrete or the green.
Or the green, that's it.
Put it to you this way, there's a reason I'm up here, not down there. Here's Kirk Drabble working down. Flips it back to Taylor. Alex Taylor with the shot and goes out of play. And the War Chiefs will get it back. And now that we're within 2 goals, you see the intensity starting to pick up. War Chiefs kind of have their head down a little bit, putting the nose back to the grindstone. And Nova Scotia senses they can do something special here. This will be an interesting one as we're in the dying stages of period number 1. Pass to the far side of the crease, in behind the net. Now they come back up top. Chase Scanlon gets in. Piero the save. Returns, stick save. Rebound still up for grabs, though, as it bounces out. Reaching for it's Piero. It's on this side of the crease, and that one trickles through, but a crease violation. Piero wandering out with it. 2.5 left to play, period number 1.
It's nice for him to be able to touch the ball a few times, too. It's not like the, Saskatchewan game. He spent most of the time just ball watching because there wasn't too many offensive opportunities there.
Saskatchewan SWAT still to come tonight against the Orangeville Northmen. This building's going to be packed as the Northmen look to move on. Game number 16. Should they win that, they will play prime time again tomorrow. And a win there would mean they play for the medals on Sunday. And we'll take you all the way to the gold here on the JVI Sports Network. Big sidearm rip, hoping to bring it to you free the entire way. If you're interested in supporting that effort, visit jvisportsnetwork.com. and click the contact section. Get in touch with either Ryan or Gary. As we said, a lot of Twitter traffic. You've seen how well we treat those who support us. And
must be a tax write-off too, eh?
Trying to keep you free all the way across. I'm not the guy to ask about that, unfortunately, but
that's something to look into.
Yeah, there you go. Why, you interested?
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
well, everyone's interested in the tax write-off. I know that, but they go around the top again. Oh, not sure how that shot first off got away and then found its way through the crowd there. But it is final minute, and it starts with Beaver from the spot. He scored his first one. Bit of a pick and roll there that breaks down as Brennan White rather made it to the net. And as Nova Scotia touches the ball, Kirk Drabel's father has been here for every game. Actually taped his flag yesterday to the tunnel, which he's done again, but he's now found another one to wave. So there's got to be a Nova Scotia flag dealer in Ontario somewhere. Couple fakes there from Aquino as he came across. Garlow out with the stick, 20 seconds left, period number one. Darius Kilgore looks like he's going to hang on to the timeout, but played out of the corner. It bounces right to Matt Wilson, our player to watch. Wilson hard into the corner after this rebound. And Seneca's going to corral it. Again, still no timeout, 5 seconds left. Down the far side, a cutback move from Connor Gates. And they had a man open on the crease, but Gates elects to take the shot himself. And it's way high. It was 5-1 for Seneca, but Nova Scotia gets the last two of the period. Although the War Chiefs do still lead 5-3. Sam McDade in the tunnel. She'll try and grab an intermission interview. We remind you to
scoreboards right now.
Stay for that as they correct the scoreboard here in-house.
I'll go see what I can dig up from Mr. Faulkner.
There you go. We saw him go down. We saw Adam Connor leave as well in that first period for Nova Scotia.
Our trainer was still on the bench for Nova Scotia, so I'm not sure if it was an injury yet, but Faulkner didn't return to the bench, so I'll go find out for you.
So Chris Susi will make his way downstairs. Sam McDade already there as she continues to look for an interview. And while you watch this game on YouTube, on the internet, please be sure and check out the official Twitter and Instagram pages of today's official broadcast sponsor, Extreme Threads. Follow Extreme Threads on Twitter at Team Extreme 77 and at Extreme Threads on Instagram. That's Extreme with an X in Extreme Threads. And again, our thanks to them for being the official day 4 broadcast sponsor. As it looks like Lucas Beaver will join Sam McDade as she makes her way out towards center floor. And if this is anything like the Tommy Scanlon interview yesterday, this is going to be a fantastic one with Sam. Let's go there now, shall we?
Sam McDade alongside Lucas Beaver. You guys went into the first intermission 5-3, so a happy note for you guys. Coming into this game, though, Coach made the choice to have a smaller roster. What changes did you guys have to make to the game plan to accommodate that?
Oh, well, not really had to change anything, just filling in some guys that are sitting out right now. Resting them up for the rest of the tournament, that's all.
Nova Scotia really proving that they had offense to kind of counter back with. What's the game plan here to shut them down today?
Oh, just keep playing our game, and we got it.
After a lot of time, spent in the penalty box last game, was Coach's message today to play more disciplined lacrosse or just keep playing the way Seneca War Chiefs are playing?
Well, we play the way we play, but, got to play disciplined too.
Thanks for this, Lucas. Best of luck with the rest of the game. Thank you. Stick with us here on JVI Sports. We've got a lot coming up after this commercial break. It's 5-3 for the Seneca War Chiefs over Nova Scotia.
born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
What's that?
Okay. Green Gales beat Mantle Blizzard 15-1.
Hang on 1 second. No, I'm not. Okay, frame us up.
It might
They
also.
just wanted to know if they were in the photo, but they're not. Garlow, their third-string goaltender, gets the start. Tommy Scanlon not in the lineup. A lot of key players out. But Nova Scotia not giving up. And you see 3 goals on Garlow, and their defense has been relatively strong. So a great period by Nova Scotia.
Well, let's track back. Let's talk about those players sitting out. Do you think that's a smart move by Coach?
Yeah, you know what? It's a long tournament. It's only Friday. The finals on Sunday. They have to play every single day if you're going to make it to the finals. So you know what? It's a very hot week here in Orangeville. Why not just take the break?
Now, talking about some key players, let's go to both sides of the floor here. Nova Scotia, they proved to have offense. Is there anybody in your books who is definitely keeping them in this game?
Yeah, you know what? Bobby Green, 18 on top, plays the quarterback of the power play and top of the offense. He's got a great shot. Also, Connor Aquano, he's a great player. Aquano is one of those guys that can shoot the ball, but he's also so slick on down low in the crease. You never know when he's going to shoot it.
I know that the interview, we did speak a little bit about discipline, and they said that the Seneca War Chiefs have to keep playing their same kind of game, but also a little bit disciplined. Do you think that they got that takeaway after the third period against the Northmen where discipline was definitely key in them coming close to a win?
Well, with their coach, Darius Kilgore, on the Seneca bench, I know he's such a great guy, and he's so confident with his team. He would have told them to calm down and relax. It's a new day. We're not going out to kill anyone. We're going out to win a game, and that's what the message is. It has to be.
Now, the Seneca War Chiefs being a pretty lethal team in this tournament, the last subject to touch on is a player to watch on their behalf.
Well, for Seneca, you can look for defense now. They have a 2-goal lead, so you're looking for maybe an offensive guy, too, like Lucas Beaver. He may have to come back and play defense as well as we see them take the floor just to our right.
Well, you know what? The games today, they're starting to count, and I think the teams are definitely feeling that pressure here in the 4th day of the Founders Cup. Let's send it upstairs for the call in the next 20 minutes of play. Guys?
Thank you very much, Spencer and Sam. And one of the storylines we're continuing to follow, of course, Seneca without Tommy Scanlon, Mason Jones, and Connor Fields by our count, probably a few others. But Adam Connor and Ben Faulkner we saw leave the floor in period number 1 with possible injuries there, Chris.
Nope, for Ben, it wasn't an injury. It was a coaching decision to put Aiden back in. Like I said, Aiden really has been our go-to guy from the beginning, but Ben did prove himself against the Gales. He played great against them, so I guess it was a coaching decision. We'll leave it at that.
Well, it looked like he was motioning for water and then went off, but you have the inside story.
Yeah.
No goalie as Stone Garlow late coming out of the room now. No backup on the bench as the horn went coming out of the intermission here. Darius Kilgore is going to go down.
Might see a delay of game penalty here.
Oh, boy. Darius Kilgore.
Yeah, they did
is
call
mad,
it.
and now they are going to call delay of game as Stone Garlow goes screaming down the floor, and it will be Nova Scotia ball. If you're looking for a design of a very cool and slick t-shirt or gear for yourself or your team, check Extreme Threads on Instagram or Twitter. T-shirts, polos, sweaters, hats, jerseys, or nearly anything you'd like your logo on. Extreme Threads has you covered. Period 2 starting with a possession for Nova Scotia as the horn sounded, and that's when Seneca came down the tunnel, and there was only a few of them, and none of them was a goaltender. As Stone Garlow came sprinting on like full head down, he was moving to get in.
It's a little bit too late, I guess.
Darius Kilgore was upset at him as they still go back to the face-off, though. Nova Scotia was saying that should have been their possession call, but it will be Nova Scotia getting the ball first in the 5-on-4 set. They trail 5-3 after one period. Matthew Carrick and Chris Susi upstairs. We've got Sam McDade and Spencer Tangway down in the corner as we continue day number 4 coverage of the 2016 Founders Cup. Semi-final Saturday comes your way tomorrow as Garlow nicely to his right makes that save. Rebound played into the corner, kept alive though by Matt Wilson. Our player to watch as this one's going to skip away from him on the return pass though. 20 on the shot clock. And he's brought back up over center. Played down to the half boards. Here is Aquano. Up top, Connor Green over the shoulder this time, and that gets through a crowd and through Garlow into the back of the net. One thing I will say for this Nova Scotia team, their games are not boring.
Well, that's the thing about teams take us lightly, and we love it because we're actually a threat to be dealt with. You know what I mean? Like any given day, different players are showing up. Today, I find Dalton Brown is having a great game so far.
And it's Millette that's going to win the face-off, and there was a spot right over the right hip, and that closed up. But Millette again over the shoulder behind the back, and that one goes wide. And 16-year-old getting a little too anxious there. Down the far.
It would have been pretty. I think he's going for the goal of the tournament, try to rip it from Bobby there.
Well, it's going to be, I was going to say, pretty tough to do with that one-handed behind-the-back bouncer we saw yesterday. But a pick and a roll and a goal from Larson Sundown, his second. This is just perfect execution here.
I counted about 5 fakes there, I think.
I think Millette realizes his mistake. He doesn't even need to come and sit in front of Chet Konechny. I'd be going somewhere else though.
I'd be worried about Brandon Sanderson more than Chet right now.
And Millette gets a little tap from Trey Carvery. Another pick and roll. They go to the net. This time a perfect slide from Kirk Drabble. Meets his man right at the crease, resulting in a big collision. Larson Sundown, though, looking for the hat trick. Draws it back as Drabble gets picked out of the way. Back down into the corner. Here's Brennan White. Big tie-up to the right of Piero. As it's pushed back and it rolls down into the corner. They come streaming off the bench. Nova Scotia tuning in. Just about 7 o'clock down on the East Coast. New York tuning in south of the border. And of course, as we talk about Chris Millette, his father out in the ocean somewhere, HMCS Charlottetown. So a salute to him and all of our armed service men and women.
I guess he was having a hard time getting any connection out there, but that's understandable. But since they're archived on YouTube, I'm sure he'll be able to watch later. I know we did. That was great. We did our video work last night just from the stream on YouTube.
Just on YouTube, eh?
Yep.
There you go. The future is now.
That's right. It's great for your scouting reports.
Well, we couldn't do it without our partners this week, including the Toronto Rock Elite League, and of course, as we said, Extreme Threads helping us out today. Down the far side. Aquano gets stopped there by Jonah Mohawk and is passed away. Back for Aquano. Aquano looking 5-hole. Garlow not sure where it is. Reaches down to try and pick it up now. And the traditional stake in the hands of Jonah Mohawk, our player to watch defensively. We'll bring it up. 7 assists coming into this game for Jonah Mohawk as well, as the double team slides over to take away the pick and roll this time, stripping Larson Sundown.
Jonah uses a traditional wooden stick, but he's one of the few that I find that actually knows how to use it other than intimidation factor, right? So it's good that he can produce with it.
Here's Larson Sundown. Outside player falling in front. We got a penalty coming up as the quick stick shot. Still a nice save from Piero though, but we'll get the high stick call from Adam Connor, who we did see go off in that first period. You can see a noticeable hobble in his step though as he makes his way across to the penalty box. And 16 minutes left here in period number 2. 2-goal lead for Seneca. As I think people, if you told them at this point in the second period, they would be the team on top, everyone would believe you. But if you said it was only going to be a 2-goal lead, I'm not sure they would. But now it's a 3-goal lead as the lefty shooter gets involved, and Tori Benedict is getting dressed over here. On the bench, we were told they may, Troy Benedict, we were told they may get both goaltenders in the lineup here.
Split the game.
As Mason Jones will take the afternoon off. Will be given the afternoon off, I assume. Along with, as we said, Connor Fields and Tommy Scanlon by our count. And we assume there's a few more that we weren't told about, as we're doing this all based on who we see. Those are the most notable omissions from the lineup here today.
I don't have any inside scoops on Seneca, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that's okay. I'm sure we could find them if we tried hard enough. From up top, Gaten Tremblay. That one around a pick in front. That one did find its way through to the net, though, so shot clock resets and wide open. Bobby Green, the pass out of his reach. Now this one a long bomb. That one just misses the roof. Picked up nicely by Beaver, though. Going with him was Millette. And Beaver will retreat here. Front door, Emerson Stevens. They work to the far side. Darius Kilgore directing traffic from the bench. And we do indeed have a crease call. Nice one, Reffy.
Oh, thanks. It's easy to ref from up here.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else, right?
And we could be going JVI after dark here a little bit. Where's this ball? As they're starting to, the gloves came off. Looked like the helmet was coming off. I wasn't sure where we were going with that one, but
Stuck in his paraphernalia.
Aiden Piero. This one's gonna scoot all the way back up over center and in front of the Seneca bench. Now rolls down the boards. It's loose as it pops out. Still battling on the boards as Draper picks up the pieces. 2 on the crease for Seneca as a wide shot goes off the backboard. Bouncing straight to Brett McGuire, however. He already has 1 in this game, and now he's gonna pull out. Facing 3 white jerseys, white and green and purple jerseys, I guess. As the white jerseys with the Nova Scotia flag on it, of course, is the Nova Scotia squad. The blue shorts. Home team is Seneca, who got to pick the color they wanted to wear, which they chose white, and that forced Nova Scotia, who only brought 1 jersey, to wear white. I remember that happened to the team I was playing for one time. We only had white. The home team chose white and said, well, we'll give you our practice pennies.
Right.
So we had to walk through the halls of their high school wearing their practice pennies, and
It's no good.
and then of course, why wouldn't you lay an egg in that game afterwards?
Like I said, every team in this tournament except for Nova Scotia is a club team, so they play together throughout the year. So with us being an all-star team, I guess it's not in the budget to have 2 different colored jerseys, I would say. But most of the time, other teams have 2 different colors, so it's not a problem.
Well, this is the only time that it's become a problem, and so far everyone's been able to sort it out.
It's not too bad, I guess. You get lots of green and purple in there.
And as Connor Gage to the far side. Oh, like Nova Scotia just doesn't have an answer for the 2-man game at this point of the Seneca War Chiefs, but Aiden Piero holding his team in it. Now as Emerson Stevens to the outside. From the fan, Kobe Whitcomb, a lot more touches for him as he's got a goal here already. Only called his name a few times through the first 3 games for Seneca, but Gates coming through. He took a whack, had to adjust the helmet there. As now Gates will head off. A few minor shoves as they came to the benches, but shot clock violation against Seneca and Nova Scotia. Get another opportunity here with 12 to go in period 2. A rip from our player to watch, Matt Wilson. That one hits off the pads of Garlow and into the back of the net.
That's been great for us. Steady, consistent all tournament. His mom's the hardest working personnel, I guess you could say, on our team, being the team manager. She's got everything under control.
Well, to try and put
Leslie.
together a tournament like this in what basically amounts to what was it, 3.5 weeks for you guys, or a month or so? I mean, your team was probably picked before the finals, but.
Right, there's lots of last-minute decisions, last-minute dropouts, work commitments, money issues, whatever it is, because it's not cheap to come up for a week, take a week off work, right?
Yep.
So
such is the sport that we all love and play.
That's right. There's lots of players, I'm sure they wish they were here. We wish they were here as well.
Every single team pretty much missing people except for Seneca, Orangeville, and the Green Gales, who are the three in closest proximity to this tournament, with the Green Gales coming in as the Ontario representative. Semi-finalists in the Junior B final series to the Orangeville Northmen, who made it as the host team. Green from the outside, Bobby Green. That one wasn't on its way through, but it trickles past Stone Garlow on the delayed penalty. And Piero asking for water.
There's been a few of those goals, just dribbling in, getting good bounces our way.
Let's watch this one on the delayed penalty. All the stop signs were up on the bench. And
he's got the green light all day to shoot.
Green blows through them. Well, you can see why, as throughout this tournament, he's been letting them fly from up top. As Stone Garlow races back into the net. And Piero will do the same. A pair of 98 goaltenders. That is rare.
Yeah.
After Ben Faulkner was relieved for the second straight day.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yesterday's game, he might have been pulled a little bit early. He certainly didn't necessarily deserve it. There we go.
We're tied inside the Alderstreet Arena. Bobby Green for the hat trick. And they're dancing in the aisles this time.
His mom's going crazy here. That's her there with the penny on.
Well,
she was fired up all week so far.
Her boys had a fantastic 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to go for 4 straight. Trying to fire up the rest of the Nova Scotia crowd. This comes about a minute earlier than we thought it was going to, but Troy Benedict will get in now as Bobby Green, what did they say back in the Sega Genesis days? He's heating up.
He's heating up.
One more, and he'll be on fire. In an arena that we've talked about the heat all day, this is the best it's been. It is still hot in here. Don't kid yourselves at home. But
if Jeremy Bailey didn't get us this fan yesterday, we would be cooking right now, I'll tell you that.
A bounce shot greets Troy Benedict as he crouched in top of that. And a big collision there. We've got gear and a few other things down there on the floor as everyone wanted a piece of that face-off. But it will be Seneca's ball as they work down the far side. Big collision as Jonah Mohawk cut back. Mohawk out there with the traditional stick this time as he steps up on offense, and there's the hat trick for Larson Sundown. Or was it Lane Benedict? I believe that's 18 Lane Benedict getting his first goal of the tournament. I have to check here, is this 18 or 92? Nope, Sundown was setting the pick in front. As the faceoff goes the way of Seneca again, 8-7. As it's now a battle of backup goaltenders. Aiden Piero in relief of Ben Faulkner. Normally the starter, though, as we said, Aiden Piero.
Yeah, I wouldn't call either one of our goalies a backup goalie. We'll call them co-goalies.
1A, 1B situation here for Nova Scotia, but there's definitely in 1, 2, and 3 on the bench of Seneca, and we're seeing what we believe, of course, to be number 3 in line up here today, as number 1 is sitting comfortably in the stands.
Actually, I don't know about comfortably.
Actually, head in hands right now. He's pretty nervous Mason Jones.
I'm sure he wishes he was playing. Well, you always want to be in the net, right?
Hey, Nova Scotia's happy he's right where he's at. As Seneca talked about it off the opener, Green looking for that low corner, and that save made by Benedict off the left toe. Should Nova Scotia pull this one off, they'll face the Green Gales in a rematch of their opening day game, where they kind of opened some eyes. They did lose, but they only lost by 10. People thought the Green Gales were absolutely going to run over Nova Scotia. But if Seneca were to drop this game, they would play the Manitoba Blizzard tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Of course, a lot to be decided until that time. The loser, of course, would be knocked out of medal contention.
Yeah, they'd be dropped into Tier 2 division where they could still play for Tier 2 gold, which is the trophy we see behind us.
And that would happen at 11 a.m. on Sunday. But of course, what everybody wants is the 5 p.m. game. The 2016 Founders Cup. And we'll have it for you on the JVI Sports Network. Today, coming to you free of charge thanks to Extreme Threads. Hoping to take you free the entire rest of the way. From the outside, again, here's Kobe Whitcomb. Whitcomb opens up in front of him thanks to a big pick from Chase Scanlon, but they're still battling for it. An increased violation against Seneca. Gives it to Nova Scotia. That would be an interesting matchup, Nova Scotia and the Green Gales. If these underdog boys could pull this one off. A game they'll be talking about for a long time. Down on the crease, Dalton Brown, you keyed in on him earlier on, Chris. A good game so far as he gets another shot. Bit of a collision in front of the Seneca bench as Grant Blackman took to the floor, but the War Chiefs do recover, and Larson Sundown, 2 goals already in this game to the far side. Getting it back, the low shot from Whitcomb. Stick save made by Piero. Came on in relief yesterday and slammed the door shut. In that game against the Calgary Chill, Nova Scotia roared all the way back to force overtime and then scored. As Connor Green, rising shot. Trail official says it bounced off a Seneca player, and we'll get a fresh 30 here for Nova Scotia. Bobby Green bouncing away. Big time pick, Gaetan Tremblay. Shot hits something before it bounces wide of the net as they send one forechecker after the ball. Again, a collision right at the boards. Drabble got knocked out of the way. So we'll have to keep our eye on these line changes. Is coming off here and throwing the stick. I was going to say in disgust, but it looks like Alex Bungay's hurt. Down there, Piero stands in though, takes a shot off the shoulder, and it looks like an arm or hand issue there for Bungay.
A stinger. He'll be all right.
It's a long way from the heart.
That's right.
There you go. Here's the shot. Where has that one headed? That had to hit something as that goes about 10 feet up into the screening here in the end zone. Ryan Kidd down the far side. See a black shirt with bright lime green with Kidd 19 on the back. Right in front of us as the shot comes through. Piero the save. Nicely played though by Seneca. Kicked into the corner. And it'll be kept alive. Emerson Stevens getting back for Whitcomb. Stevens now rips and fires. 3 players in front of that one. There's no way Piero saw it.
No. Found a hole.
And it's now a 2-goal lead for Seneca. Under 6 minutes to play. That was the loose ball play there. Kicked into the boards to be kept alive. And watch this. Two players colliding in front just as the ball arrives. And a big collision here. Our player to watch involved that shot off the inside of the near post as they continue to whack in behind the play. Played back though by Chase Scanlon. He gets in on Piero and makes the save. As Lucas Beaver's gonna posture up. Ball pops free from Nova Scotia. This building's getting loud between the Nova Scotia fans. The PA announcer as Lucas Beaver takes it to the net. It bounces wide. And was it a shot? Lead official says no. Thought for sure the left arm of Piero caught that one.
We'll take it. I think the boys got to slow down here offensively. We got to use some shot clock, let the defense rest up.
Yeah, nothing against Nova Scotia, though, as that's not how you slow things down. Green taking the shot with 18 left as Bobby Green now chases it all the way into his own zone. Nova Scotia, they make something here as 6 seconds left, another rip. But the run and gun game, I think Seneca's going to win that one all the time. Doesn't matter who they're matched up with in this tournament, except for maybe a couple guys on Orangeville. As we saw last night, that pace was pushed so hard and heavy last night in what was a fantastic game, available on demand on our YouTube channel. Out the front door, Gaëtan Tremblay, a low shot that actually goes off the leg of a defender, and now Chris Millette keeps it in the zone and then heads off into the corner for Tremblay. A rising sidearm shot that goes off the back glass. And Tremblay can't corral it. Slash there, and the trail official's arm goes high. Tremblay gets up and few swings. Tremblay is real hot at Ryan Kidd. And the officials separating those two, as we saw some of this last night as well. Here's the shot. This is the most recent Seneca goal. And look at everything that Piero's looking at. How do you see this ball? A lot of movement crossing both ways. Big collision, and somehow Piero is supposed to pick up and make a save in all of that. It's
a nice shot for sure.
They'll now, Piero and Benedict electing to take water here. Will be 4-on-4. Or will we? No, it looks like 4-on-4 is correct, as we've got a hold against Gaëtan Tremblay was the first call, and then offsetting minors after that. So Nova Scotia ends up with 4 minutes of penalties, as they've got number 9 up on the board for Seneca, but I believe it's Ryan Kidd who's in the box. As here comes Millette, though, trying to celebrate his birthday in style. And how's that for a birthday present? Paste it into the glass. Not really what he had in mind there, I don't think.
He had to wait for troops. Oh.
Nova Scotia, that pops out the back of Bobby Green. Haven't seen many missteps like that from him this week.
That's rare.
But Green's down the floor directing traffic, and he sets back up on defense. We have seen this part from him a couple times, though, and to his credit, he stood his ground. Pick coming off the bench from Marvin Curry, the Vancouver Stealth draft pick. And as Kobe Whitcomb sends far side, as they rip again. Sundown putting Piero out of sorts, and that will be the hat trick for Sundown, as there were a number of fakes there before it finally got through. And it is 10-7, but the lead was wider than that, as it was up to about 4 or 5 in the first period before Nova Scotia put one of their patented momentum swings together. They've been improving every single game after game number 1 against the Green Gales. It's been exciting lacrosse, now trying to open eyes as Seneca tries to advance to the gold medal tier in the Founders Cup. If they do, they'll face the Green Gales. So will it be the rematch, or will it be a great semifinal? That game comes your way tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the JVI Sports Network. Reminder to follow us on Twitter at JVI Video, Facebook.com/JVI Video, JVISportsNetwork.com, as we'll have information on how to view tomorrow's games. And of course, as we get set for the medal rounds, if you'd like to help us out, hit the contact page. As this is picked up by Seneca, heads up here as Millette elects for the cross check, and not the big hit. Piero sees that one roll through his legs, and Millette on the doorstep to pick up. Minute and a half left in period number 2. As it's brought up the far side by Seneca. Sundown looking for 4, and that pass too high.
Yeah, he was on his wrong side of the floor there. I'm sure he didn't
Curry
expect the ball to come to him first.
Was
place.
as well,
Ooh.
so it's a big rip, and both officials put their arms high as Drabble goes down at the side of the crease, and I think Connor Gates is going here.
Should be from behind.
It looked like a cross check. We'll see if the arms do open. Yes, they do, and it looks like 4 minutes has been signaled from the official. And
Kirk's a tough kid. He felt really bad yesterday taking that 5-minute major at the end there for the high stick against Calgary, but looked to bounce back today with a solid defensive game.
as Bobby Green should have passed that one underhand maybe, as that one sails way high over the glass into the siding on the far side of the Alder Street Arena.
That was a quick period.
It felt like a quick period. I mean, we are 6:15 here Eastern Standard Time. If you're settling in for the evening in Nova Scotia, as it's 7:15 down there, enjoy your Friday night programming and maybe have us on the tablet. We'll be back on at 8 p.m. here, 9 p.m. in Nova Scotia, as another one flips out the back of the stick of Bobby Green. He's going to have to do some stick work, I think, in the intermission here as he gets it up top, though, and another one that goes wide. We've seen him pass two sneak out the back door, and one that went high, and immediately he checks the pocket. And possibly a broken shooting string as he slams the stick over there. Beaver, pick and roll again, and the fake up high, down low. And Dana Ray, 0.3 seconds on the clock, 4 seconds left in 4-on-4 play. Has another goal here for Seneca.
Bit pretty hard on that fake there.
Piero's seen that a couple times now as they fake low, go high, and Seneca's catching on that the pick and roll game is starting to widen the gap between Seneca War Chiefs and Team Nova Scotia. But the lead is only 4 after 2 periods of play. Many thought it would be a lot wider than that. Nova Scotia opened eyes against the Green Gales, looking to do it here against the War Chiefs as well. As Piero comes down to share a hug with Troy Benedict. And
That's a little weird, eh?
goalie union, I guess.
Save it for after. I'm just joking.
Sam McDade quickly caught up with Bobby Green. Those two chatted, I think it was yesterday, as they'll make their way to the Founders Cup logo to do it again. Let's go floor side, Sam and Bobby Green.
Sam McDade alongside captain Bobby Green. Bobby, let's first start off with those 4 goals. What clicked for you?
Just getting my shots in the right spots, figuring out this goalie out early.
Now let's talk about starting the next game, the next period on the power play. What's the game plan to really utilize that to the full advantage?
We just need to throw no risky passes, get the shots we need, run the plays we have, be confident with the ball.
Did you expect to come out and play against a more disciplined Seneca than there was last night, but still physical? And what's your guys' game plan to shut them down after 20 minutes of play?
Just cut out the outside shots, shut down their shooters.
Lastly, what's it like being captain in the Founders Cup?
It's an awesome experience, just being with all my best friends here, playing the game we all love.
Awesome. Thanks for this interview, Bobby. Best of luck in the rest of the game. Stay with us here on JVI Sports for more.
Born of the Huron and of the Mohawk, of the wilderness, of strength and endurance. This is Canada. This is lacrosse. Our country, our sport. Canada's national summer sport, lacrosse.
2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Welcome back to JVI Sports Network's coverage of the Founders Cup in 2016. This is day 4 of the tournament. We are now sitting at 11-7. Seneca is just over Nova Scotia with a quick goal at the end of that period. Let's get your thoughts, Randy, really quick on the period that just happened.
It looked really good. I mean, Nova Scotia is actually playing really well. Their goaltending is fantastic. He's really played really well this whole tournament.
Now, Randy here is with the Saskatchewan SWAT, who is a team in this Founders Cup tournament. We're talking about the 2016 one, but let's move along to the 2017 one, as you guys will be the hosts of that year, and the tournament will be in Saskatoon. Let's get a little thought process on what's going on there and the plans for that.
Well, of course, we got our committee together, and we've been talking already. It'll be our 3rd hosting of the Founders, so we're pretty well ready to go.
And let's talk a little bit about how Orangeville has been treating you guys so far in this tournament.
Oh, fantastic. They've done an excellent job. I mean, I've been going since 2002 to the Founders, and they've done a fantastic job here.
Now, before we go upstairs to the guys, let's talk really quickly about the Saskatchewan SWAT this year and their team so far. I know you said that they're a young team. Let's get your opinion on them as they are about to face the Northman in game number 2 in our broadcast of this evening.
Well, they're definitely up against the wall here. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, our club moved up from last year's club, moved up to Junior A. And, they've come out here and they've expected to work really hard to try and get somewhere, but it's going to be tough against the Orangemen.
Well, thanks for chatting with me, Randy. JVI Sports Network's viewers, make sure you tune in all game long, all tournament long. We got all the coverage of the 2016 Founders Cup, but we're going to have the 2017 in Saskatoon to look forward to, as courtesy of Randy for letting us know that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And let's send upstairs to the guys for the call.
Extreme Threads is your one-stop shop for business and team branding solutions. Their beautiful, expansive showroom opens 7 days a week for your convenience. For more information or to view the products, visit www.extremethreads.ca, Extreme with an X. As Extreme Threads have signed on to be our game day sponsor today as the face-off play. Something didn't look right there from Nova Scotia. Their players kind of all over the floor as the short-handed goal to start period number 3 makes it 12-7.
That was faster than I could even look or see what's going on.
And it was too fast for our replay deck as well, we're being told. Brett McGuire, the whole way up the floor, was arguing for a face-off violation, it looked like, against Seneca, but
there's your lesson. Just play the game. Don't worry about the refs.
Marvin Curry sending it down the floor. As we are in the third period here, a reminder to let us know who you think the 3 stars of the game should be. Tweet us at JVI Video. Use the hashtag 3stars. Of course, the YouTube chat room is now open. I have a feeling that some of our hat-trick players, Larson Sundown or Bobby Green, would be on that list.
That was intense music there.
It's a big decision.
Yeah, we need help. Like, I hate making that decision.
Well, we need help with the 3 stars. Let's start there, as there may be a few other areas we could use some assistance in, but.
I need stats. Need some stats going on.
This place has point streak, don't they? Green into the corner. Seneca now using the Calgary Chill playbook, yelling out where the ball is. We saw Nova Scotia do that in mock defense yesterday in that Calgary game. As a rip that hooks a little bit for Matt Wilson, goes well wide. Wilson chasing it down, and then Benedict coming out to set the pick. And too many for Seneca. Nova Scotia will get the quick restart as it rolls to Aquano. And Aquano back up for Green. This is the first time we've heard this from Seneca. I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
Communication on defense.
Bottom shot there from Brett McGuire. That may have been the message from Darius Kilgore.
Darius Kilgore is one of the most respected defensive coaches in the game. He invented some defensive sets for sure.
I'm not sure there's a Hall of Fame that he hasn't found the inside of yet. As that Kilgore name is synonymous with success in lacrosse. It is pretty much to Northern New York lacrosse what Sanderson is to Orangeville up here.
Yep.
For those of you that aren't familiar, and if you're not, well,
read a book.
I was trying to figure out a nice way to say that, so we'll just leave it with Chris there. That was
just
well
watch
put.
some lacrosse.
That was well put. Couple bumps as this is a sloppy start to period number 3, the one that we thought everybody was going to bear down with, as a penalty coming here to Seneca now as Nova Scotia comes up over center. Ball flipped to Bobby Green. Arm high from the trail official. Aquano up over center, a few side steps there. We must have a slick as Carvery goes down.
The floor's been holding up pretty good today.
It has, actually. The last couple days, it does get a little slippery as Nova Scotia can't get the shot away before the first penalty expires. Right at the whistle, Brennan White steps out. And no signal from, I believe that's Maurice Getz. Checking in the crease, is that what he's just signaled? I thought that was well in the corner, but as the youngsters will come out with the towels one more time. 12-7 is the score in favor of the Seneca War Chiefs. They lead by 5. They are the home team, occupying the visitors' bench. As in this round, the home side gets to choose which end they defend. And so far, every home side has picked this bench right in front of us.
You'd be surprised. We actually wanted the bench that we got.
You guys have been there pretty much all tournament, I think, except for game 1. Is that not correct?
Yeah, we tried to get that bench. There is a play behind it in the second period. I'm not sure if we got to see it, but
Bobby Green has a couple whacks for Tyson Brown, and now a big one just as he passes away. That'll get a few words from the official, but nothing more, as the ball gets pushed to the far side. In on goal and in the goal. It took a little bit for Lucas Beaver to get goal number 3. He was part of that big comeback run against Coquitlam in their overtime game 2 days ago for Seneca. Lucas Beaver was, where we dubbed him the King of the Celly, as he had some pretty good highlight reel celebration. This one he just works in on net over the shoulder of Piero. As another face-off win here for Seneca. Lucas Beaver had the water bottle in hand when he got the call to get on the floor. Goes into the corner now. Dancing away out to the boards. They've got a cutter and a couple fakes. High, low, and hard into the backboards. They ask for a wipe. I'm not sure there was a shove at the end of this, but real hard into the backboards. There's definitely no call as the Seneca player goes down. And it looks to be the hip area, right hip. Smashing hard into the boards as Sundown will get helped up and putting no weight on that right side.
Looks like he's wearing a brace already, so I'm gonna re-injured it.
Yeah, Larson Sundown putting no weight on that right leg.
Definitely doesn't want to waste any time getting off the floor either. Hustled.
Goes to the front door though, as opposed to going to the side where the tunnel is. As he now walks his way down. He'll find the dressing room.
Oh, he just slipped.
Oh, there's a slick there. I was trying to figure out how he went down because I didn't see contact. And just as we credit the floor, we get a slip down.
Should've knocked on wood there.
By the edge there. Matt Wilson over the top. Bobby Green setting it up and hones it in.
All right, just need 7 more of those. Let's go. I want to give a shout out to this DJ. He's awesome. Just playing awesome tracks all week.
We had some Coolio yesterday.
Oh yeah, Gangsta's Paradise.
MC Hammer. Before that, I'll second that nomination for first star.
Sure, let's do it.
Of course, if you'd like to nominate some of the actual players in this game, we'll accept those as well at JVI Video.
Some legit ones.
And while you're there on Twitter, be sure to follow at Team Extreme 77. And those Instagram users out there, follow Extreme Threads on Instagram, as Extreme Threads have stepped up to help us bring you free coverage of the 2016 Founders Cup from Orangeville here today. Big hit there, didn't even seem to faze Marvin Curry. We just backed into the Nova Scotia player as the save made. Rolls into the corner, Mitchell Batiste. As it continues to clang off the edges of the sticks of Nova Scotia players. Bobby Green with the most recent goal. Seems to have fixed his stick issues he had in the second period. And there's Connor Aquano down the far side. Green now backing away. He wants to get straight down the axis so he can
nice pass. Send
a low shot on net. Passed it to the crease, and reaching in the crease was Dalton Brown. And we've played 5 minutes here. 5-goal lead for Seneca. Continue to work around it, rolls into the corner. Picked up though, up top Lucas Beaver had room to shoot and likes to go to the right side. Beaver again looking shot, and again pushes it over for Connor Gates. Down on the floor, big collision there as it rolls into the corner. Picked up and kept alive by Brett McGuire. Players jog off now as Nova Scotia takes it down the far side. Up for Draper. Brett Draper will stay on the floor as the ball is forced to the far side for Tremblay. Green letting rip, a little bit off axis. That one skips into the bench. And a couple Nova Scotia players have to duck out of the way as Darius Kilgore returns it to the floor.
That ball was humming too.
Well, we talked about his fierceness when he was on the floor. That won't faze anybody with the name Kilgore.
No. Just a little ball.
Long way from the heart.
Straight.
Top of the crease, it goes in. Piero will pick it out of midair. Time now the enemy of Nova Scotia. And if they can get one of those patented East Coast runs put together here, who knows what will happen down the stretch. Facing a tough Seneca War Chiefs team though. Couple steps there working in, and Troy Benedict has really looked solid here in this period as it results in a 2-on-1 back the other way. Brett Draper, the only man back, as now they come flooding off the bench. Beaver through the crease slightly as that ball rolls away with speed now, picked up, racing in. Brett McGuire already with one, looking for two, and over the shoulder of Benedict. Has a big collision after the fact, and the pass return looking for Dalton Brown, just a little bit behind him, and that'll be picked up by Seneca as they'll slow down the pace. And a scream in frustration comes off the Nova Scotia bench. Defender was fouled there just as the shot arrived. Otherwise it may have been blocked, as now Tremblay will get off the floor after getting stuck after that most recent offensive shift. Emerson Stevens. Hidden ball play actually, as Beavers got it. They were looking in front for Marvin Curry. Into the corner. Back in front, Sundown, straight down the pipe. Good to see him back on the floor after we saw him limp off earlier. Again, if you're joining us late, no Mason Jones, Connor Fields, or Tommy Scanlon in this one, as Seneca opting to rest some of their big guns for a potential matchup tomorrow at 5 p.m. against the Green Gales. Far side, Nova Scotia. Gate 10, Tremblay. Sponsor today from Port Coquitlam. The Adirondacks dropping their decision to the Chill. We understand they're dealing with some extreme weather out there and some fire warnings. We hope everyone on our west coast is safe. And we think of you guys here today as we complain about the heat inside the arena. Obviously nothing as serious as whatever's happening out there in BC. Up top, Lucas Beaver. Fakes the shot, gets to the middle, takes the hit off the backboards, and then a big drop afterwards. And the trail official caught whatever that was, as a trainer being called out again as Beaver is down. And it looks like Zach Frazier heading off for the penalty. As, yeah, maybe we're getting a little slick down there. And from our corner, heads up, ladies and gentlemen, as we get you right close into the action here on the JVI Sports Network. Lucas Beaver gets up under his own power and runs away from the trainer. Down the back of the bench and down the tunnel where Larson Sundown was earlier, but Sundown did return to the floor. Piero going back to his crease as they finish the mop-up job. And Larson Sundown will start up top. High sticking penalty, I believe it was, to Zach Frazier as he'll sit. And Sundown from up top, Brennan White. Oh, a roughing call, pardon me. And played over to the near side, Marvin Curry. Piero nicely to his left. And he's able to get it late in the 5 count here. He just backs out. Takes the back door out of the crease, and it's up to center for Bobby Green. Green beats the first man, and nice recovery though by Liam Anderson to catch up in front. A couple fakes there from Dalton Brown, and now a triple team coming in, and interference called against Seneca as Dalton Brown quick reset. Here's what happened to Lucas Beaver on your screen. As Frazier probably lucky that's only a deuce for roughing.
Yeah, we got lucky there.
As there was no arm up. So I think the official, recognizing that something must have happened for Beaver to go down, elects to call the 2-minute roughing minor.
It was the back official who called it, so he made the right call. It was a penalty for sure.
Who was on the far side. A little bit of an angle there to go in the numbers as Seneca players falling all over the floor. And a breakaway chance scores for Alec Bungay.
Lots of time there.
And they haven't called for the wipe down, so this must just be a comedy of errors back in the face-off neutral zone line. And unfortunately, it's not back far enough to see the collision, but you see the after effect, a number of tap dance moves. Little quick peek there from Bungay before putting it through.
Shoulder check, saw that he had lots of time. Extra fake maybe. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Brendan White in the cheeky department.
Found a hole.
That is almost, to me anyways, that's almost as impressive as the Lucas Beaver rip shot.
Yeah.
The fact that you can just find a spot and finesse it over top of everybody.
You see the replay. Aiden's actually favoring that side as it was, so I didn't even see a hole there.
Like I said, everybody likes to see the rip shot from guys like Lucas Beaver, Tommy Scanlon. As Nova Scotia saying that went off a Seneca player or that they reached over and pulled it back.
You know what I heard there? I heard white ball.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure everybody's white out there, so. Whoever picks the ball up gets it pretty much there, I think.
As long as you're wearing a white jersey.
Yeah.
Another player limping off here for Nova Scotia on this set, and I think it's Adam Connor, who we saw go off hurt earlier.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle at the end of the first period, but quick tape job and he was back at her. Didn't miss a shift.
This lead has been around the 5-goal mark for quite some time now. 14-9 is the score. 8 minutes remaining here in period number 3. As a turnover here, Nova Scotia, quick pass down the far side. Stepping up is Drabble. He backs into a check. Will now send it across, looking for Wilson. And that's going to be intercepted for Larson Sundown. Winner of this game moves on to play 5 p.m. with the Clarington Green Gales in semifinal number 1 here at the Founders Cup as we get set to play for real. As we are approaching prime time on the East Coast. Closing in on 8 o'clock as you're probably sitting on your couch getting ready for the weekend, taking in Founders Cup lacrosse. And those of you in New York maybe sitting at the dinner table. Down into the corner. Glad to have everybody along. Perhaps you're just getting home from work if you're out in BC. One more game to go, 8 p.m. Eastern time. As a collision there as the War Chiefs player goes down. And I believe it's going to be Seneca ball. Northman will play the Saskatchewan SWAT to put a cap on quarterfinal Friday here at the Founders Cup, brought to you by Extreme Threads, this broadcast. And all our 4 free broadcasts here on the day.
This place will be packed for that on a Friday night, I imagine.
Orangeville and Saskatchewan. Of course, we've been talking about Saskatchewan all day. They'll be without Jenna Nash. We saw her go down yesterday. She's been on crutches most of the day in the building. We're expecting her to be out of the lineup. Although the way she's been playing this tournament, who knows, captured the hearts of pretty much everybody in Ontario.
She deserves a toughest player award, I think. She took a beating. And I think Saskatchewan might regret not sticking up for her a little bit more, even though she can handle the toughness. But at the same time, everybody knew that you could hit her and she'd just get back up, and there's no repercussion from the team. So.
Well, you and I had this conversation off camera the other day, the fact that it's not necessarily because she happens to be small or female or any of that. She's one of their top players.
That's
and if you go after the top player repeatedly, eventually someone should be answering the bell. Maybe not.
Right.
Even if it is a national championship, pardon me.
I compare it to like Sidney Crosby. He can take a beating on the ice, right? He'll get back up, but if you let the other team take advantage of that and keep beating them up, it's only a matter of time.
Got a delayed penalty here as Piero will come to the bench. And of course, not to get anything wrong here, not talking about anything dirty or anything crossing the line like a dust up or anything like that, but just letting people know, hey, there are certain untouchables here.
Yeah.
And the shot comes through, and we'll get a slashing call against Larson Sundown, who heads off to the box. Five minutes remain here, period number 3. Goaltenders taking water. Actually, Troy Benedict, the only one taking water, as Piero elects to stay in the crease. Matt Wilson will start up top. Down the corner, into the crease. Back up top again. The low shot, taking a page out of the Bobby Green playbook, is Wilson. That time Benedict standing in to make the save. To the far side, a couple shoves here, and now working around a pick. Looking to go to the net. Rumbling his way through is Clifford Brooks. That one steered into the corner, as Seneca will retain possession here. See a couple of the Northman players. I believe those are Northman players. It's actually Saskatchewan SWAT, sorry. Leaving the stands now as they go to get ready for game number 4 of the day. Coming up in about an hour and 12 minutes time on the JVI Sports Network. Free of charge on our YouTube account, thanks to our friends at Extreme Threads in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Tie up on the boards. Looked like the bench was trying to signal timeout. Darius Kilgore may have just been screaming at his players, though, as the officials run by. He doesn't really have much more to say to them, so perhaps that wasn't the case.
Ben Faulkner's got all of his gear on. Looks like he's ready to go. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Piero was looking to the bench. Maybe is he a faster sprinter? Up top, Green corralling it after the shot. 38 seconds left in the power play here. 14-9. Seneca over Nova Scotia. Either way, against one of the top teams in the tournament. Remember, a couple years ago, this wouldn't have been the case with a team from Nova Scotia, but this program has come in leaps and bounds. A lot of that thanks due to the Orangeville connection they have with the Sanderson family. As Piero puts the head down, and he will race to the bench now. And he'll give way to Faulkner, who will, on the return, race back into the net, it looks like.
Chet Konechny, he's the technical director for Lacrosse Nova Scotia as well. He's done endless hours of work preparing for all the national teams, basically, just getting systems in order and coaching the right way, basically, is the bottom line.
I don't know how many National Lacrosse League stars, I don't know how many professional athletes have come out of Pictou, Nova Scotia, but
I'm surprised you know where Pictou, Nova Scotia is.
Hey, done my homework.
Great people there, though.
Oh, Faulkner makes the save from outside the fan as they were trying to get that one through to Lucas Beaver. He's got to crouch in again, though, as Colby Whitcomb scores. And Faulkner coming back in as he went sprinting to the bench. That one gets through and probably ices it, I would imagine. As walking to the arena today, pretty much everyone at least thought they knew what the outcome of this game was going to be, who the victor was going to be anyways, let's say that. But a 6-goal deficit. I mean, we were staring down the barrel of another one of those plus 15 games we thought for Seneca, but a great showing from Nova Scotia here in this tournament as they continue to get better. It looks like they will be in the 11 a.m. Eastern time game tomorrow, right around lunchtime on the East Coast. That seemed to work out pretty good a couple days ago.
Yeah, enough time after the game. You can still catch the hip concert live on CBC.
Attaboy.
I can't wait for that one.
I have to work.
Conor McGregor too, yeah.
I have to work because the Calgary Chill have a game against the winner of our primetime match, either the Orangeville Northmen or the Saskatchewan SWAT. So FaceTime me or something, okay?
Sure.
There will be screens set up in Orangeville, so if Orangeville's in that game, it'll be interesting to see where the attention is divided as Trey Carvery. He's good for about one a game in this tournament so far, and that is his one. Unfortunately, it comes with a 5-goal deficit with 1:20 left in period number 3.
He's played a lot of different roles in this tournament for us. He's been an offensive guy at times, defensive guy at times, transition guy at other times, tough guy at other times, so jack of all trades, if you would. Mentioned his brother Tyson is probably watching at home. Hopefully he'll be a part of this team next year, graduating from the midget program.
Face-off win for Seneca. They immediately signaled timeout as the goaltender was pulled for Nova Scotia. Not sure who it was that came out, as again Faulkner and Piero are switching.
Put them both in.
Switching sprint duties. Why not? Run 4 attackers.
A smoke break in between.
I want a stick check if you do that though, because one of them's supposed to be a runner. But
sorry.
That's a pretty big pocket there. And especially if it ends up being Faulkner running down, that shaft is well over the, 42, 43 inches?
Yeah, 42, I think.
Yeah.
She saw an illegal stick call in the minor nationals this year, Team Ontario's goalie. And it was a woody, too, so everybody was kind of like, what? But, yeah, it was too wide at the bottom, so it was altered, obviously.
Oh, boy. The custom job.
That's right. Just like remember those hockey commercials where they put the blade over the stove and make a big V hook. I think it was Brendan Shanahan.
Yeah, it was super. Of course, his brother Brian, a great lacrosse player in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the crease, a big rip.
Also a sportscaster now.
Yeah. Shout out to Mimico, Ontario.
Mimico's a great spot. I was at the Founders Cup in 2010 when it was in Mimico.
Oh, man, we had MasterCard Center rocking there.
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a really well put on tournament, that one.
Well, 40 seconds left to go. It looks like Nova Scotia, there were hopes of a medal the past 2 days. Looked like they were going to make it. But it looks like they will be in the Tier 2 championship, which is getting pretty clogged up here, actually. The Adidas are pretty strong. And the Blizzard are pretty strong out there. The Saskatchewan SWAT, we're expecting again to be in that division, but anything can happen tonight. Mm-hmm. We'll wait and get official word on Rylan Hartley, which we don't have for Orangeville. We saw him leave last night. Daniel Tanner was one of our 3 stars. Came on in relief, but we're about an hour away from that game, about an hour and 5 minutes, 8 p.m. Eastern time from Alder Street. Orangeville Northman, Saskatchewan SWAT. as there's 25 seconds left here. 15-10 is the score. 16-10, pardon me, as the shot clock turns off and Seneca hangs on to the ball here. Seneca Green Gales looks like it will be at 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. What a game that'll be set up to be. As what jerseys will come out for that one? There will be a lot of green on the floor that time. 16-10 your final score.
I think that was a better game than a lot of people thought it would be. It's respectable for sure.
Well, it seems like Nova Scotia this entire tournament, you and I talked about it the other day, the fact that that Greengale game wasn't really indicative of what this team can do. They hadn't played together before. They were also facing a very strong Greengale squad. And, I mean, the fact that it was only a 10-goal difference in that one, people thought that was going to be a little bit worse, but came on real strong in a couple games late. And the Nova Scotia team, a pretty good showing down the stretch here in this tournament. Unfortunately, they'll be in the Tier 2 championship, which starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, new goals.
Well,
obviously, the first goal was a bronze medal, a top 3 medal, but now we got a different trophy to go for. The party's just as good when you have a trophy, you know.
Our 3 stars of the day, we've gone third star Lucas Beaver, who joined Sam McDade in the first intermission. He ends up with a hat trick. Everybody on this list ends up with a hat trick, actually, as Lucas Beaver gets our third star in the absence of Tommy Scanlon and Connor Fields. Bobby Green, I think every single game for Nova Scotia he's appeared on this list, as he's been fantastic for Nova Scotia. Another 4-goal performance here this afternoon as the captain of Nova Scotia. And then our first star, Larson Sundown. And Bobby Green is named the player of the game officially here in-house for Team Nova Scotia, as we went with Larson Sundown for our first star. 3 goals, did pretty well defensively, and a couple of assists, as well as Bobby Green accepts his player of the game. Ball, pardon me. And Troy Benedict, the second half goaltender.
He did come in and shut the door, that's for sure.
Especially down the stretch. A few early got in behind him, but down the stretch started to find it a little bit. We imagine Mason Jones will be back tomorrow when Seneca faces the Green Gales at 5 p.m. here on the JVI Sports Network. Our 11 a.m. match is set. The Manitoba Blizzard will face Team Nova Scotia again, that at 11 a.m. Another crossover game, as third place in Division A faces fourth place in Division B, Sam McDade down on the floor for our final interview of this game. I believe it's Larson Sundown she's caught up with. Let's go there now.
Sam McDade alongside Larson Sundown. Larson, a 16-10 finish, a well-deserved, a well-earned win, but did you guys expect Nova Scotia to really come out with that offense and challenge you guys here today?
I think the whole time we kind of figured that. Even the bad teams can battle hard. I feel like on our end we didn't play as well as we should have done. So that's why the score is what it is. It could have been higher on our side and lower on theirs. It was just a matter of us fixing the things, and as we did, we adjusted things, and the score got better by the end of the game.
How's it feel to win in quarterfinals?
It feels great. We also expected to be here. It's just a matter of going to the locker room and addressing things and really breaking everything down so we can break it down to the next game and then be successful from there on.
There'll be quite an epic matchup in semifinals for you guys. You guys are going on to face the Green Gales. What is your guys' game plan in taking on a team like that and taking them down potentially?
I think with teams like the Green Gales and Orangeville, it's not a matter of adjusting to their game. If we go out there and we play our game and we just do us as a team and not adjust or lower ourselves to their level, I things will be taken care of, and we'll end up winning at the end of the game.
We'll let you go celebrate. Thanks so much for the interview, and we'll talk to you later on in the tournament. Stick here with us at JVI Sports. Actually, I'm going to throw it up to the guys upstairs so they can have a little last-minute analysis of the game that was. It's 16-10, a great score, and it was quite the spectacle to watch. Guys?
Thank you very much, Sam. As we back upstairs, Matthew Carrick alongside Chris Susi. You said new goals for Nova Scotia, the Tier 2 gold medal trophy sitting behind us here, and could be one more game, could be two for Nova Scotia and Manitoba. Coquitlam-Adenac's also in that division, as it'll either be the Saskatchewan SWAT or the Orangeville Northmen, who will maybe move on to either the 8 p.m. primetime game to face the Calgary Chill, or drop down into that division to face Coquitlam.
Do or die from now on.
There it is. So our thanks to Chris for jumping in for Nova Scotia. Not sure what the plan is tomorrow, but if you are back,
I'll be here.
We'll chat with you for sure. And if not, we've appreciated your work this week, and we've appreciated Extreme Threads bringing you day number 4 coverage free on YouTube. An hour away from our primetime matchup, the Orangeville Northmen, the Saskatchewan SWAT. Matthew Carrick for Spencer Tangway, Sam McDade, Chris Susi, our director Alex Brazow, producer Gary Morrison. We'll talk to you in about an hour's time. It is Founders Cup action on the JVI Sports Network, brought to you by Extreme Threads.